Hi everybody, I'm Lawrence Mechanic.
Hi, I'm Patrick Eshaw.
And today's video is about the ACT. We're going to tell you a little bit about the ACT, different components of it, what's on it, so that you can make the best decision for your child. The ACT, in my opinion, is a reading test, really a speed reading test because there's not a lot of time to answer the questions. But I find that the questions are a little bit more straightforward than the ACT. It's just that students need to think very, very quickly. Now the first part of the test is the English section. The English section is a 75 question grammar test that has to be done in 45 minutes. If that sounds like a lot of questions in very little time, it is, but most students finish this section without any problems. That's because they have a really good background within grammar, and the test is pretty straightforward in that a lot of the questions repeat, and with a lot of practice, students can very easily master this section. After this section, students move on to a 60-question, 60-minute math test that Patrick is going to talk about.
Yeah, like Lawrence alluded to, the ACT is a little bit different than the SAT. You have 60 minutes to answer 60 questions. What's nice about the ACT is that the questions are asked, most kids will tell us that the questions are asked in a very straightforward manner. The SAT tends to make the kids kind of, be able to play with numbers. They ask questions in a way that can sometimes be confusing. The ACT, in my opinion, is much more straightforward. So if your child maybe struggles a little bit with math, maybe the ACT in the format of the way that they ask the questions might be better for your child. The other thing is, when you do the 1 through 60, as you move through the test, it slowly gets a little bit more difficult. So the first 20 tend to be easy, 21 to 40 on the medium level, and then from 41 to 60, they become more difficult. But here's the thing about the ACT that I find much more easier to prep for. We have found that there's 20 to 25 questions that are on every single ACT. So once the kids learn those 20 to 25 questions, the idea of doing 60 minutes and 60 questions in 60 minutes becomes much, much easier to handle. So basically what we find happening is the combination of knowing the 20 to 25 questions plus the straightforward manner in the way that the questions are asked makes it a much easier test for the kids to prep for. Lawrence?
After this 60-minute section, the kids move on to the reading section. Now the reading section is rapid fire. We have 40 questions in 35 minutes. There are 4 passages, 10 questions each, but the questions are randomized within each section. So students can't go through the passage chronologically like they can on the SAT. The questions themselves are not overly difficult, but the time constraint makes the test very difficult. After that, students move on to the science section. The science section is really a misnomer. It is a science reading section in which students read science labs and science experiments and have to read charts within these experiments in order to answer questions. Again, like the reading, the questions are very, very straightforward. The issue is the time, because we have, again, 40 questions in 35 minutes. Students really have to move through this quickly in order to finish it. Unfortunately, you're dealing with fatigue, and this energy loss really starts to creep in about halfway through the science section. After that, students have to write an essay. The essay is 40 minutes. Students are given some kind of issue. The issue may be government spending, or should students be allowed to work if they're getting college scholarships. At that point, students will see 3 perspectives, and students have to either come up with their own perspective, prove all the other ones wrong, or defend one of the perspectives that is given to them. Now the problem is, students have to defend and refute each claim within the test, and that can be very challenging, especially at the tail end of a test that's taken over 3 hours. But that's the test in a nutshell. It really is, in my opinion, a speed reading test. It's not a difficult test, but what makes it difficult is the lack of time. So we hope that helped. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.